Alrighty, we're here. They said it wouldn't happen. They said it was too late. Said it was too late to stream. But I said no. I said no, damn you. We will stream. We will stream tonight. And so it was. For Zatch Bell 2, Chapter 18 will not wait. Cannot be stopped. Must bear witness. Okay. So I'm glad I was able to get to this one pretty soon after release. I'm bad at planning it out to be like the day after. But it could have been way later. I knew if I missed today, this would have been recorded like 2 weeks from now. That's why, to me, it's pretty soon. For most channels, this would be like a disaster to stream this late. For me, it's like pretty good. Oh, yeah, hey, you made it. So I pull up the chapter, and I need to check how the streams are doing. I see the audio's coming in. It's looking good. But I still want to check. I always check. And then I will link the stream, and we'll get started. Where is it? I don't even see it. There it is. I don't see it. There it is. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so as long as we don't have any random YouTube cutoffs, which was the issue last time, it had nothing to do with my setup. YouTube just was crap in the bed, and it didn't want to go. It didn't want to stream. Justin's Game, welcome. Always the first to arrive. I am well. Hope you're also well. What's the good word concerning Zatch Bell? Let's see. I talk about what I've been doing lately. Not much. I've been playing some games. I might start the new WarioWare after this. I'm in the mood for a little WarioWare. I have the new one. I didn't start it. I've been playing Cyberpunk lately. I'm playing a lot of Tears of the Kingdom. Still, I took a while off. I took a couple months off of Tears of the Kingdom. I got back into it to just complete some goals that I had in mind for the game. I already beat the game, but there's some stuff I want to do. And man, I've been back into that game like nothing. It's been great. Great game to play, listening to other stuff. So that's been fun. Haven't had time to watch many movies. Been watching some TV, catching up on Demon Slayer dub on Toonami, which has been good. But I'm still getting through the Mugen Train content, which I've already seen. So I'm looking forward to what comes after that. And I'm watching the Godzilla show on Apple TV. It's called Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. It's not very good, unfortunately. But it does have Kurt Russell, who's a great actor, and his son, Wyatt Russell, who is also a great actor, playing the same character at different ages, which is really neat. It's a cool concept. It's been done maybe a couple times. They keep saying in interviews it's never been done before, which I'm happy to let them believe. I think it was done recently in something. I don't remember what, and I don't know if I want to spend too much time thinking about it. But it was done recently in a smaller form in something. I forget what. So, I recently saw the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Justin says, "Yeah, I saw that. It's pretty good. There's aspects of it that I think could have been better. And it was a movie that a lot of people kind of didn't like it. It seemed like fans of the game did, and I think the effects are really good. The animatronics look great. I did find it funny how the main character in that movie is like, the guy does like nothing. The guy does nothing in that entire movie. He's like, so like, he lets the movie just happen around him, for most of the movie until the end. But it was still an enjoyable time in the theater. And I need to keep going back to the theater. There's a lot out right now. Even the new Hunger Games spinoff, I'm interested in. People didn't like it that much in the reviews, but I do want to go see it. In terms of Zatch Bell, there's not too much going on. The new mobile game is coming out. We don't know when, but it should be within a couple months. They're putting out a lot of interviews with the anime voice actors who re-recorded lines for this new game. They're putting out interviews with them on the website for the mobile game, which is really cool. And that includes Mr. Sakurai, who was Kyo's voice actor, who was a little bit shunned by many in the industry after having a personal controversy, some drama in his personal life. But he's still the voice of Kyo, at least as far as Toei's concerned. Aside from that, I think the Spanish version of the manga is continuing to come out. And from what I've heard, it seems like that Spanish translation, is partially taken from an English scan of the manga. The years and years old null scans of the manga actually have some very specific language from those scans that show up in the Spanish translation. So they're reading these English scans online, translating them to Spanish, doing their own work on it for sure. But it's weird that they're partially using these scans, which aren't considered to be great as a source. And I don't know if just because some folks on Discord have noticed if that's going to change. We'll see. But let's get into the chapter. First, I got to link this stream. I haven't linked it to anyone. That's why it's hopefully we can get some more people in the chat. Okay. Hope you like the thumbnail for this. I try to work with what I have. I knew I had to use the Rago thing that I have, which is this clear file, as they call it. This is from that Shin Owen thing. It's like a folder. It doesn't open fully. You can put papers in it. The volume 15 illustration, which I love. I think it's such a cool illustration. The volume 15 of the double volumes, the ebooks. But let's get going with this chapter. Chapter 18, we're going to read through it. We're going to discuss. There's not too much discussion to be had because it is an action-focused chapter. But we're going to go with it. So we pick up from where we left off. I wasn't really sure if we would. I thought maybe we'd cut back to Zatch in the Moto world. But we do pick up from where we left off. With Sherry facing these assorted freaks, most of whom are looking pretty good, except for the lady. The lady on the upper right, who I think is supposed to look like some sort of Ultraman monster. You think there will be a Gash Cafe 2? What do you mean Gash Cafe 2? Like the cafe website they did, or like I don't know what you mean, because they put out a Gash Cafe for the volume 3 of the manga. We might actually read that after this. They put out another one with volume 3. She's facing these weirdos, these monsters, with this big sarcophagus in front of her. Yeah, they put one out. I don't know if it's hosted anywhere right now, other than the Discord. Book shining in front of her, in front of this sarcophagus, big sarcophagus. Big. A book, and it's white. Is he here? He is. He's finally here. But first, let's cut off their escape by trashing that vehicle. Helicopter, they mean. Gravity ray. said the spell should be more than enough to clip its wings. The helicopter is still going. I'm not sure if there's a reason for that. Maybe it's just in the process of going down, but it is still going. Now to blast it out of the sky with this. Suddenly, Zakiru! Big shot from the front, kind of like the shots they love doing in Dragon Ball, where Goku is firing the Kamehameha, and you kind of don't really see the full beam, but you just see his hands of the light coming from the front. It's a little like that. You can see Zatch's face within the spell. The guy gets zapped. He's surprised. We're surprised. He gets zapped back. Classic Raikou, like showing the progression of him flipping in a somewhat comedic manner. Sometimes Raikou will do it a little more comedic and he'll show like these lines of them flipping. He didn't do that here, but Zatch rushes the guy. Boom. He's still falling. Rushes the dude. Come up right in front of him. I think Kyo at this point is riding on Zatch's mantle like he did at the end of the first series. And of course, you know, why the hell are these guys here? That's the big question. You barely have time to ask. They're going so fast. Zatch is trying to use the mantle to attack the villain. The villain's blocking it pretty well. Huge fist comes up from behind him. It's the big man in the suit. The boss casket gonna race. Kyo says, step back. They jump back. Shield. Big man pulls his fist back. He sees Shield coming up. Could probably smash it if he wanted to. But he didn't see it coming. And it's another successful Rashield. We love to see it. We love to see Rashield be successful. Sends Gigan race back. Guy jumps out of the way. And guess what? Kyo's there behind him. To grab the case, which is open already. But he's not grabbing the case. He's just grabbing the vial. The villain punches him backwards. But he's got what he came for, so that was his ploy, as the villain says. He throws the bottle to Zatch. He says, Sherry, take this bottle. He throws the bottle to Sherry and pour it into the white book. I love seeing Kyo and Zatch in action. Always cool. The winning team, previous battle. Sherry catches the vial. She's standing on that broken leg pretty well. Maybe heal itself through the power of her determination. Gash and Kiyomaro. They're here. How are they here? I don't know. Zatch Bell Gamer, thanks for coming. Yeah, you didn't miss all that much. We talked a little bit about what's been going on for me lately and for Zatch Bell lately. Hope you like the thumbnail. So Sherry's happy about this now. She has hope. Of course she does. Jumoda throws the case to the weird freak. The big head freak. Michelin Man arms smirks at him. Jumoda smirks back. I love this. I love seeing these guys' weird abilities, how they use them in different ways. Jumoda takes the vial, which I think is maybe the spell type of one of the ancient Mamoto. There was an ancient Mamoto whose spells had these crosses on them. He just eats that straight up. He goes. Then he chews it and he casts a ton of spells inside his mouth, inside his body. Babiru, that was the ancient Mamoto. Thanks, Zatch Bell Gamer. Bogiru, Bogiruga, Bogijurudo. I assume these Bogiru was one of the spells from that Mamoto. I don't really remember. I assume it was. And the spells don't come out. He casts 3 spells, but they just kind of build the energy up inside his body. You can see the light come from his mouth. He swallows the energy. His arms, they blow up. Oh, seriously? Got everyone's birthday? Well, damn, happy birthday, Justin. If it's still, I don't know if it just past midnight for me. I don't know what time it is for you. If it's still your birthday. If it is, happy birthday. If it's not, then happy, later birthday. after birthday. Oh, it was last month. Okay, hey, happy belated birthday still. Zatchville Gamer, I gotta wish. Well, it's past midnight, right? So happy birthday. Then that would kind of mean technically it's your birthday, right? So happy dang birthday. I'm glad you could be here for this. I have to make it. I hope the discussion is extra good for your birthday. For now, I hope you like Guy's arms blowing up into weird black slime, because that's what we're getting right now in the chapter. His arms blow up. It looks like it kind of maybe hurts him a little bit, because he's got black goop also coming from his eyes and his mouth. Pretty gross. Mostly his arms blow up. And it doesn't even go that far. I mean, it goes pretty far, but it doesn't like create a whole circle around him or anything. It's really weird. He just kind of stands there. Bloop, bleep, bloop, bloop, bloop. You can see it sort of, I don't know what it would sound like. Maybe there's, it's hard to imagine what it sounds like. Q and Zatch get back. The rocks and the landscape and trees are sinking into this goop. Has Zakara even blown someone's arms off? I don't know. I don't remember. I don't think so. Maybe they did that with a Zakaruga at some point. But, I mean, they messed up Wig pretty bad in that fight. In that first fight. So Q is noticing it's dissolving anything it touches. No time to stand around guessing. Seems like maybe they have a little more planned with this goop, but we don't see it this chapter. Yeah, it is a little funny. That's what I'm saying is like Zatchville Gamer, is that it doesn't seem like that much of a threat. But then again, they don't get very hurt by it, so I guess they're not too troubled. No time to stand around guessing. They cast a Karraga. The big man flips in front. Gadaruk. I love seeing that. When Zakaraga's blocked, it always has these streams of electricity coming from it. Just blocks with his hands. Gadaruk. Now, is that like a Barry spell? It's Barancha's spell. Okay, thank you. I was thinking it could be Barry. It could be, what is Gelios's armor spell? That's like a more major spell. I think it's like a 2-word spell, not Gadaruk. So, wait. So is Gelios's spell Gigano Gadaruk, or are they the same spell? Or is Gelios spelled different? Was Barancha's the Gigano? Gigano Diodaruk. Okay. So we've never seen regular Gadaruk. That's kind of interesting. I love Barancha. I'd love to see. I wish Barancha could come back as a bigger character. I think Barancha's really interesting spells. One of the few female characters, but a different female character because she's literally just a large cat. Is just a cat that turns invisible. Pretty cool. So I'd love to see Barancha come back. And Barancha's partner too. You can say what you want about the portrayal, the way Barancha's partner is portrayed, specifically appearance-wise. But he's pretty cool other than the appearance. You know what I mean? And he gets him. He pulls one over on Zatch and Kyo there. I like to see those guys again. So he blocks Zakaraga with that. Meanwhile, the other guys are heading towards Sherry. The boss is super excited. Kyo's like, Sherry, I won't let you get anywhere near the boss. So you guys in my black swamp should just stand back and watch, if you know what I mean. I don't really know what he means. Just stand back and watch, I guess. So Sherry pours the spell element into the book. Garza gets a ton of points for me for having a baby panther at the end of the series to honor Barancha. Yeah, I love that. I always imagine that panther, or I also imagine maybe if there's a sequel and Barancha had a child, that the panther would be named Zaroff, which is the name of the maniacal hunter from the famous short story, The Most Dangerous Game. So I thought that would be a fun name for a character, another cat related to Branch. I got the feeling Jimura isn't very bright. His dialogue so far has been pretty odd. Yeah, he looks doofy, and he probably is doofy, but he might do a little more with that sludge. So we'll see. How old is Brancha? I don't know. She seemed pretty old, maybe around Barry's age, I would guess. Also, the boss guy has this weird design. It looks like a space invader on his chest piece. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Sherry puts into the book, and the book, of course, turns black. All of a sudden, in the helicopter, we don't get many shots inside this helicopter. We saw Apollo once in his face, and a lot of people thought it was Sherry's husband. And then we're not seeing him again too closely yet. There's this case which looks specifically designed to hold what it's holding. These soul balls that we saw a couple chapters ago. Branch is 14. Pretty old compared to many other of them. One of the soul balls pops out of one of the compartments. I guess there are multiple soul balls in there. It's good that Apollo doesn't have to pick which one to use. He might pick the wrong one if he was doing that. But he doesn't have to worry about it. It just comes out automatically. Zooms over there. Where do they get these souls from? Let's get some answers next chapter, maybe. Maybe not next chapter. Maybe chapter after next. Yeah, I have the same questions, Astral Gamer. What's the deal? They had to have gone to the soul sanctuary to get these from the lady, whoever it was. That's guarding them. I think there's a lot that happened in the Moto world that we don't really know about. We're going to learn about it soon. So, zooms over to the sarcophagus. Sarcophagus shining. Face on the sarcophagus. Then we have a little speech from our villain, Brago. And of all the other demons, you were the one I was dying to fight the most. Sarcophagus starts cracking. But just my luck. Your reputation as the baddest dude around meant they wasted no time and sent some group of guys to hunt you down right from the start. I don't even know who they are. Thanks to that, they got to you first, and I never had the chance. So that's why. When I heard that Gash had come back to life, it made me wonder. Zatch Gamer says, yeah, there was definitely a time jump, like a day or so based on how the previous chapter started. The kids got home from school, but then Sherry was out doing things. And they have lunch. Sorry, that's a funny way to type that. And then they have lunch? What? You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, there's been a bit of time that jump for sure. I'm not making fun of you, Zatchville Gamer. It's all in. It's just surprised when I was reading that out loud. That was just how it came to me to read that. So we see in this panel, what looks like some pretty particular character designs facing Brago. There's one weapon coming from the left. It almost looks like one of the weapons that Wade could have wielded at the end of one of his arms. We don't see what that weapon is attached to. We see another weirdo. Could it be like Jamoda's brother or something? He's another weirdo. He looks like he's hairy. He's got the little arms poking out. And he's got what almost looks like 5 fingers coming from his head. With little claws like scorpion. Some look like scorpion tails at the end. I don't know. And there's another guy on the right who's kind of chubby. He's got some. This guy looks like a Dragon Ball design to me, like an Akira Toriyama monster, like Janemba or one of the dudes. Some of the dudes from GT. Some of the big the enemy dragons. So a lot like a Toriyama design, the weird long black horns, and he's kind of fat. And then in front of that guy, there's a really familiar looking guy who's caused a lot of speculation. It's interesting that the boss man here specifically mentions this mysterious group. He doesn't really know who they are. And Raku seems like he maybe took a little time to design them, and they killed Brago, who we see later in this chapter. Spoiler alert, he's pretty badass and strong, as we know. But this guy here looks just like Goran, the Moto who almost won the previous battle, who imprisoned a lot of his enemies in stone. We never knew what happened to Goran. We don't know why he's still alive. Maybe he wasn't still alive. Maybe he was dead up until now. But it looks just like him. He's got the snakes coming from his head. He's got the sort of beefy body, and he's got the hairy bottom half that looks like it extends back in his sort of centaur type form. It being Goran makes so much sense because he could zone Brago pretty hard with his spells that Brago cannot afford to get hit by. Brago's size would work against him. Possibly, yeah, Brago would be focused on dodging Goran. And Belial might be telling Goran, none of this stone stuff, please. Just kill him. Just get him. Justin says, I forget, did Dow and Bell defeat Goran? Yes. From what we've heard, Dawan and a team of a few other Mamoto had to team up to beat Goran. We don't know if that was the final battle of the previous battle or if that was just some time in the previous battle. But obviously Goran got a lot of work done before that. So the villain's talking. He always wanted to fight Brago. He never got the chance. But when Zatch came back to life, it made him wonder. Then the lady cast a spell herself. So once again, the rules as we know them, pretty much anyone can, if they have the spell vial, can cast these spells. We don't really know how it works for like the humans, but the monsters, if anyone has that vial, they can cast spells with it. And they can do other things, clearly. Jamoda ate that thing and did some weird thing with it. He overloaded himself with a bunch of spells. The sorcerer types, who are a little more experienced, can use the spell elements and form it into whatever they want at great physical cost to the person who they are using it on. But she uses this spell, Girafadamu Barasuruku, and we see the little spell element is just a hairy ball with teeth. I wondered if, just maybe. You imagine the voice getting deeper as he talks. More bestial. This is a spell that they're about to call out. It's a spell that might be pretty familiar to some of us already. Changes his appearance a lot. Brago! Zatch is, whoa, that's Leo's forbidden spell. Sherry, get out of there. It is referred to as his forbidden spell. Zespel Gamer, what was, I'm sorry to use you as an encyclopedia like this, what was Demolt's armor spell called? I'm not saying I thought this was that spell. I know it was Leo's spell. But they're a little similar, right? Because the idea is like it kind of makes them like more even. Right, Bauer Saruk. That's why I asked. So they're similar. Yeah. Makes sense that they're similar. Villainess says, I can't afford to stay here. The amount of power this spell bestows upon its wielder is absurd. Remember my rule. No need to make your voice super high if you're reading for a female character. Just read it how you think it is from the vibe. I'm not going to go off on that again, but important. It's important to not be cringe. Anyway, worse yet, I'm pretty sure it robs whoever uses it of their sense of reason and sends them on a rampage. Which it does. Oh no. Zillion. His name is Zillion. Okay. You were clamoring for the chance to fight against Brago. But now you've lost all control. You'll smash the container before Brago can finish his resurrection. And that will be the end for both your wish and for Sherry as well. Will that happen? That's what's going to happen, guys. He's going to smash the container. Brago and Sherry will be dead. The end, right? Too bad, so sad. Got some shards flying. Of course it's not the end. Are you kidding me? That's not what's going to happen. Come on. Riff, guitar riff, right? What's happening? Big Fist has been blocked. Sherry's like, Big Fist in front of her. Single eye looks out from the shadows. Someone on Discord predicted this super well. That it would start with just a shot of his eye. Angry eye. Brago's two states of being. Tiny, one state, tiny eye. Other state, no eye. Those are Brago's two states of existence. The tiny eye or no eye at all. Even in his crazed monster form, villain is afraid. Zillion is afraid, guys, to reference to do a little JoJo reference. Even Zillion is afraid. That's, to anyone who doesn't get that, that's a JoJo reference I really like, because it's such a funny line from the original series, where they have this character who you have known in the show for like 5 minutes, or in the manga for like 2 chapters. This guy, he starts as an enemy. He's just like a random gang dude on the street, Speedwagon, and he becomes their ally through some small chain of events. You barely know the guy, and he goes to the mansion and sees Dio, and they're like, even Speedwagon is afraid. It's like, what does that mean? I don't even know this guy. What does it matter if he's afraid? I don't know him. He doesn't seem that strong. Anyway, I think that's so funny. Why does it matter? Even Zillion is afraid of this. Yeah. I think that's why people reference that line a lot, because it's like really bizarre. Huge fist coming up in front of Sherry. You're like, whoa, I don't remember this. I don't remember his fist being that big. I don't remember that arm being that big. Sherry smiles. He's back, baby. The big man is still fighting Zatch and Kyo. He still has his arms enhanced by the spell, it looks like. Is he here? Zatch is happy, yeah. The villain, Zillion's happy now. He's like, yes, I get to fight him. Hell yes. Hurlios. To quote Jeff Bezos. Brago! The legs look so gross. The weird, like, muscly texture. He's trying to smash the sarcophagus again. Sherry's kind of getting ready to cast a spell. One arm comes out. Leg comes out. Whole sarcophagus explodes. Brago's there. He's huge. He's massive. He's like Sherry and a half size or more. Big furry outfit, huge beefy arms. We thought Tia got swole. Ain't seen nothing yet. I could have done that pose for the thumbnail, but it would be weird to not have something. I could have done like I could have had like, or well, it's not the same. I could have done this. I could have been blocking it, or I could have done something else. Like, I don't know. I like the one I chose. I like the thumbnail that I did though. This is Brago's first appearance. He's back. He's big. He had a growth spurt. He was a pretty short guy before. He was a little Vegeta type, short but powerful and angry. But his size is growing to fit his strength. His face looks it looks like it's changed here. The shot's a little later on. You can see he still looks mostly the same in terms of his face. The guy's still punching. Sherry's going to cast Gigano. She doesn't need to cast anything. The guy, Brago, the guy. Brago punches the guy's fist. Sort of a Kratos, reminds me of Kratos type of scream. Punches into the guy's fist. You don't really see what, like, you don't even, you're like, what is he? Did he just like punch through the guy's fist? Yeah, that's what happened. He just punches into the guy. Punch versus punch. Brago wins. Zatch Gamer says, I wanted to say he's grown to be the size of Kikaropu, but no, it looks like Kikaropu is still larger. Yeah. Kikaropu, or what do we think he is called? What do we think Kikaropu is supposed to be called? Like a Kiklop or something like that, right? Is what we kind of figured out that might be what he's kind of supposed to be called. Yeah. So Brago wins that that little fight, that little conflict of fist versus fist. Sherry doesn't even need to cast that spell. The lady villain is astonished. Everyone's looking. He's like, Zillion. Arm is gone. The arm blew up. Where did it go? Tries to punch at the other arm. Brago says, on your knees. See, his face looks pretty similar here to how it did in the original series. Sherry, what are you waiting for? And I don't really know what the intention is with this little moment. I don't know if it's maybe supposed to be funny or if it's just kind of Brago. I'm not really sure. Sort of just wanting to team up with Sherry, you know what I mean? Maybe Brago just doesn't want to do it alone. Sherry casts Gravity Ray! And I really like that you see the energy coalesce in his fists. Bringing the guy down, bringing Zillion down with a powerful Gravity Ray. More powerful than when they were using it, just like with Zatch's spells. I think Brago deliberately gave Sherry the chance to contribute for a little vengeance after being attacked by the Gravity Ray nonstop. Yeah, might be something like that. Brago's always pushing Sherry, to make the right choice. Thankfully, this time just through his words. The cast Gravity Ray, big fist, big circles at the end. And like calluses, I don't even know what they are. Coming right at the guy. Right at the camera. See the wave coming out, just the energy like right at the viewer. Guy's head goes flying. Oh. That's it. It's over for Zillion. Zillion's head goes flying. He will continue to battle without his head. Just you watch. It definitely possible, but there are 3 more dudes left. So it's kind of a toss-up, I think. Whether we'll just have these other 3 people pull out some more moves, or whether we'll continue to see Zillion's head do some stuff. Jamoda looks surprised. Everyone else is pretty happy. Pretty surprised, pretty happy. Kyo staring. There is no point in even using the spell. Probably. Kyo is maybe not amused. That's classic. That's so funny. Classic Raikou, classic Kyo. You love to see it. It's the end of the chapter. That's chapter 18. Really exciting chapter for what it is. I think that, I was talking last month about the formula, and it's still going to the formula, right? But it's an exciting chapter. I mean, Brago's back. He's killing it. He doesn't even need spells. It was overkill. I was thinking of using that word in the title of this stream. I was thinking of saying Zatch Spell 2 overkill reaction. So I sometimes do titles aside from just, the Zatch Spell 2 discussion. I'll put little titles in there. I sometimes do that, sometimes don't. I decided against it. But I didn't think of using that word. So that's the chapter for now. Not much to talk about, I mean, we discussed most of it during the chapter. It's very exciting that Brago's back. They managed to kill him before, even with all the strength he's showing now. They got him at some point. So I think we may definitely see that group that killed him be an elite group, possibly with a revived Momodo among them. You might see them later. But for now, it's going to be a pretty clear win for the good guys, especially now that Zatch and Kyo surprisingly are back already. How did that happen? We don't really know. We skipped a lot in the Momodo world. I think we're going to get to see it, like I said, maybe not next chapter, but the chapter after. So, we want to see the gathering of the clan leaders, right? We want to see the Thunder Dragon Egg. What's the deal with that? Do they have it with them? Where's the egg? Can someone sit on that egg and get it to hatch? How did Apollo get all the souls? Did Zatch and Kyo come from the helicopter? Or did they just zip out of a portal from the Momodo world using the books? Do we remember, did we see exactly how they came to the Momodo world to help Tia Megumi? With Megumi? Did we see that happen? Or did we just see them show up? Just a flash of light, yeah. The books probably just sent them back. I think their movement in the Momodo world, I assume, is pretty limited. They probably can't move around too much. They probably wouldn't want to quite go back and forth until they've rallied in the human world and save the top 10 who the villains are going after. Them able to go back to the Momodo world. For now, we're returning to the human world, which is kind of what I want. But it's still surprisingly quick to see Zatch and Kyo. We thought Brago would just come back somehow and finish this on his own. But we did need Zatch and Kyo to get the spell element to give to Sherry. I want to know how they have, as Zatch Gamer says, I want to know how they plan to have proper communication with the demon world. It's what Gash was concerned about. We never saw what they plan to do. Yeah, I really hope we get to see that discussion. I don't want Raikou to skimp on that. I want to see that. That's first thing I want to see. Second thing I want to see is next fight, please just set it up in a different way. Please. That's all I'm asking. I'm not mad right now. This is a good chapter. This is a good one. I had fun with it. But let's have a different setup. All right? I don't want to see Ponygon in the Momodo world struggling. I don't want to see Kafka's Sunbeam's wildlife sanctuary that he runs with Sister L. I don't want to see it getting attacked and them going, oh, what are we going to do? Surely all hope is lost, but wait. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it again. All right? That's all. That's all I ask. I hope we can finally get to Ponygon. Look forward to seeing him. The anticipation builds for a talking Ponygon every day. Every day it builds among the fandom. I just want to see Rops. Yeah, I think we will see Rops. A lot of people want to see it. That'll be a really nice reunion, I mean, for everyone else who lost their Remoto at the end of the battle, Apollo didn't even get a chance to say goodbye. It'll be nice to see Rops again. Rops, who also might be able to talk. Rops was almost able to talk before. Just you got to use the board and to use the board with the letters on it, as shown in Gash Cafe. Speaking of Gash Cafe, we have a Gash Cafe. Justin, it is on MangaDex. So go on MangaDex. If you scroll down a bit, you'll see Volume 3 bonus pages, Gash Cafe. That's where you can read it. We can go through that. Because, like I said, there's not too much to talk about with the chapter. So we're going to go through Gash Cafe. A pretty long Gash Cafe. I think, I don't know. It felt long up to me. So we're going to go through this. And then we might just end after that. It's getting pretty late. There'll be a lot more to talk about next month, I think. This month, Brago's back. He's huge. Okay? He's huge. There's been a lot of fan art already, funny fan art of exaggerating his size. People like it. People don't like it. Some of the shippers don't really like it. They think it's a little much. I think it's a big difference. We're going to see how Sherry's kids react to this strange, massive man that just showed up and helped their mom. Let me get my laptop charger real quick before I read this. Okay. Brago does need to meet Claude. Yeah, that's a lot. It's something that you could speculate on a lot, but we just don't know what is going to happen with this Sherry thing. I mean, now that Brago's back, Sherry's got to kind of leave her family to go fight, right, with the gang. But then also, Brago is so powerful that, will it just make things too easy? Will Brago have to be put out of commission again? That seems unlikely. So we don't know how the odds are going to be evened now that they have this massive force on their side. Not only Brago's strength, but also his spells, which will cause Claude's face to meet the pavement. Maybe more than meet the pavement. I don't know, there won't be any of that guy left. Sherry can't do that unless she calls a reliable sitter who could only be Coco. That would be nice. Well, actually, her butler could fill the role. Maybe Coco and the butler would be nice. We got to see Coco again. Let's see her again. What would a new Brago spell be like if he needs to unlock a new spell? The guy already has so many spells. What else could he even have? I always just think armor. Everyone's going to get armor. Tia's going to get armor. Brago's going to get more armor. So, Gash Cafe, Volume 3. Let's read it. This is Gash Cafe. A place where all sorts of customers can enjoy tea and conversation with one another. Today's guest star, our little brother Consomme, and our lovely heroine, the witch, whose nose is looking extremely long in this panel. Her chin is shaped like a polygon, don't you think? Yeah, sure. Okay, dig in. Please wait just 3 more minutes. I guess to eat for the cup noodle, I think. Yay, thank you. I'm the witch. Pleased to meet you. Consomme's order. A milkshake and a heap of donuts. That's it. The witch's order. Cup noodles, a mysterious apple, and mandragora tea, which looks like Belgamio's head with one of Belgamio's spells floating in it. A mandragora, I think, is a plant that is, one of those plants that is considered like a witchy sort of ingredient. Related to the mandrake. Yeah, it is a mandrake. It's the same thing. From what I'm reading. Imagine ordering a mysterious apple. Yeah, I don't know. They knew what she was talking about, I guess, in the kitchen. Wow, a real witch. Yes, I am a horrible witch. Consomme just keeps clapping. She's like, oh, thank you. You're a good boy. You're so enthused, unlike Kimura-san, the security guard from that time at Osaka-John Hall. He wasn't the least bit frightened by my horrific presence. Consomme's putting donuts on her nose. Oh me, oh me, oh my. Now that's what I call being on the nose, little one. On the cup noodle. Beep beep. It's ready, beep. It's Coral Q. For some reason. He's the timer here is Coral Q. Okay. Witch is eating that. Ah, how scrumptious. Nothing beats some cup noodles. You sure love cup noodles, huh, Witch-san? Why, yes. Cup noodles are the food we witches are known for. I don't think that's true. I think it might be the apples. By the way, Consomme-chan, donuts are all well and good, but how would you like to try a delicious apple? Look at that apple. It's like bubbling. It's a poison apple, obviously, from Snow White. Consomme knows that. I don't eat poison apples. It's not poison. It's an apple of mystery. But witches don't care about cup noodles. The only food they carry around are poison apples. I admit that color is a little distasteful, but the apple itself tastes wonderful. But you ordered that apple, not me. So I think you should be the one to have it, Witch-san. But I made it myself, Consomme-chan. So she made it herself. This apple is my gift to you. It might make you a wee bit drowsy, but that's perfectly fine. Doesn't seem like Consomme is going for it. Consomme. Doesn't seem like he's going for it. The witch is making her despair face. Suddenly, Consomme says, "Come on, witch time!" Similar to what he was saying to his brother. Pulls out a little radio that starts playing a tune. The witch kind of bopping along to it. Which does appears to be some kind of song or rap. The best part about a witch that takes us very far is how long all of our noses are. So we got boom, boom. Then she almost was part of the, I don't know if it's part of the dance or what. She takes a bite out of the apple and then immediately falls asleep. As she said it would happen. Polo comes up. You put her to an eternal rest. The same fate befalls any who eat from the mysterious apple. But you see, Consomme-kun, the princess who was lulled to sleep by the mysterious apple can only be woken up by a kiss from her beloved prince, just like Snow White. I think Consomme intentionally distracted her with the song and dance, and then she forgot what she was holding. Yeah. I think it was, kind of like, I think, she was caught up in the performance. She had to end it. She had to end it on a bang, so she took a bite out of the apple. This Poruka family spell, maybe Consomme's little brother has it. Could be. We don't really know if, Consomme also had his own magic stolen. We don't really know that. The only magic we've really seen get stolen are ones from Momoda that we know about, I don't know if we've seen any spells that were just wholly new. We did see, I feel like, a spell that maybe could have been from Jiza, the villain of the Gaiden chapter, but even so, that's still a guy that we've seen. And it's still a named spell, So Consomme gets on top of the witch. She's snoring away. She has a nice chin. Goes to a tree, picks up a beetle. Puts it on her chin. It's not really a kiss. But it does wake her up. There's a beetle on my chin. Consomme's thinking, a permanent sleep and a beetle on her chin woke her right up? Wow. That witch sure is silly. Sleeping spell, no! I don't think this is a Momodo spell. I think this is just a witch's spell. Consomme plops to the ground. Hey, what did you do to Consomme? Nemo! Consomme falls to the ground asleep. He's asleep at last. Beetle still on her chin. Do 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 do. Everyone's happy. Aww. Aww. Think about the sound effect of the whole audience going, aww. It would seem that all the witch really wanted was to cradle a sleeping consomme in her arms. There is nothing more comforting than sipping tea in the sunlight garden while watching a child enjoy a peaceful nap. So then, who will be next to visit the Gash Cafe? We hope you look forward to finding out soon. And that Consomme is also still asleep on the floor. So that's that. This Gash Cafe ended in a frighteningly one-sided way, says Zatch Gamer. This witch is powerful. If she's the Snow White witch, and she might have a fabulous youthful transformation as the final boss. That would be interesting. Clearly, we're going to see the witch and Pola again. So who knows what's going to happen. So after this, we have the volume credits, which are always interesting to look at. So you got to see what two-page spreads and scenery the assistants contributed to. Now, Raikou, we know, draws a lot. We always see the footage of him on the Bergden board account drawing. But especially on some of the bigger spreads, he has the assistants help out. So we see Ringo Kume, backgrounds, effects, and finishing. Mayu Kanayama as well. Ringo Kume worked on the helicopter holding the sarcophagus. Mayu Kanayama worked on the big structure, the dragon city that Asteron rules. Seo Sasaki worked on, obviously not, they didn't work just on these, but these are some of the things they worked on. Tia's Clan's Cave. Some of these might be ladies. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell, the gender just from the name. But it would be cool if he has a diverse staff like that. General Affairs Secretary and Record Keeping, Yuki Funasaki. It's an interesting way to translate that name. Special guest Maydax. I'm not super sure who that is. And of course, special guest Rek, who contributed to the big spread of the Dragon City. So their second contribution to the series. Will it be the last? We don't know. And that is Volume 3. This is actually Chapter 18. It's going to be the first chapter of Volume 4, which presumably will have Brago on the cover. That's exciting. And that's that. What else is there to say? I looked it up. Maydax is apparently a school for manga artists. That's interesting, right? I wonder what that means. How are they a special guest? Did they have manga students come to contribute a little to the chapter? So Brago should be 27 now. Well, it's been 13 years, right? So Brago would have been 14 before, which I think he was. So yeah, I guess that would make sense for him to be 27. I'm 31 now as of last month, so I guess I'm older than pretty much any Momoto. Potentially the oldest Momoto in the first battle would be as old as I am now. That makes me feel a little better. You know what I mean? Maybe some of the Momoto are as old as me. But the anime constantly said in cooperation with Toei Academy. Okay, that's cool. So next time on Zatch Bell, I think we're going to have more of this fight. I look forward to seeing the villains pull out all the stops. That's always interesting. Maybe they give Braga a run for his money. Maybe Jamoto was going to use some more of that slime. I don't know. And then after that, I really hope we can hit the ground running, get some more lore, see what happened in the Momoto world, and move on to some kind of crazy other conflict, which I think will be the first real team battle of the series, I would expect. with two people on the good side, two teams on the good side versus the villains. Who knows what's going to happen? Brago's going to be punching a lot. The spell vows they have left to work with are Barancha and Leo, actually. Beast combo. Yeah. We don't really know. I mean, maybe Leo's powers have been like used up or something with that forbidden spell. But I look forward to seeing Barancha's invisibility. Might be pretty good, you know. Also, the pyramid. What's with the pyramid? What was the deal with that pyramid? It'd be cool to see that. So that's something to look forward to. Before that, who knows? Maybe the mobile game will drop. Oh, right. The pyramid attacked Barancha. You're right. I'm misremembering. She kind of plowed through it, but then they lost anyway. Mobile game might drop. Who knows what's going to happen? Bergden board is hiring again. That's a good sign. They're hiring for like clerks or something. I don't know what what the clerks are doing. We'll see. Raikou continues to tweet about having a lot of work. But Zatch Bell 2 will continue, and I'm excited about what's to come. For now, I think I'm going to leave it there. I wish I could have maybe started the stream a little earlier so some more people could have come in, but I'm glad we got to go through the chapter, discuss it. I'll try to plan a little better next month and try to have it streamed really close to when the chapter comes out. But I also like giving people a little time to maybe be able to look forward to the stream and, let their thoughts on the chapter coalesce. They should be lucky that he doesn't have Ion Gravity, right? Yeah, they're really lucky. Whatever he unlocks is going to be just as good, though. Yeah, the interviews have been cool. I haven't seen many of what you've been posting from them. I read some of the Juan Ray Lien stuff. I missed the stuff from the past interviews, so I should go back and look at those. But it's cool. They've been going through those really fast. So the game is probably really close to coming out. And when it does, I'll try my best to play it. I'm playing a lot of Fate Grand Order. I've been going through that a lot. I'm getting through it. I mean, it's probably one of the longer story modes of like any game in Fate Grand Order. But I'm getting through it, man. Finally, it's taken me like 3 years, and I still have a lot left. Anyway, before I start rambling about random stuff again, that's been Chapter 18. Thanks to both of you for being in the chat. Thanks to anyone else who watched. We're just over an hour, which is what I like, is about the right length for these. And we will see you next month for Chapter 19, I hope. Can you believe it's been 19 already? It's going to be close to 2 years of Zatch Bell 2. If there is a chapter next month, which I think there will be, it's going to be close to 2 years of Zatch Bell 2. Yeah, that is true. A lot of mangas take breaks in January, but this is a monthly, and it's their own. They have their own schedule, and they took a break. Obviously we know recently, so hopefully there will not be another one. But if they do take a break, then the next chapter of Zatch Bell 2 is going to be the 2-year anniversary, I believe. Maybe just be the 2-year anniversary of the announcement. I don't remember if the first chapter came out in February or March, or if the announcement was just in February. That day in February. Okay, my phone just said I got an email from my work email, for my work email. I don't know. I'm not going to look at that. It's almost 1 a.m. I remember that day in February, What a day. I'm going to reminisce on that on my own. Thank you for watching. See you next time, and everybody have a good night. Thanks for watching.